Okay, so we're going to talk about the issues that we've been having at Cook County Jail, and it's not being addressed. I've seen petitions that's going around to protect the officers who are not working in a facility that the inmates are allowed to social distance. There is no mask being provided. There is no hand sanitizers being provided. The environment in which they're living, their working conditions is filthy, not only for the officers, but also for the inmates. And then I made a statement that half of the percentage of incarceration is of ethnic race, and most of those are innocent. And that didn't come from me. That came from statistical data from the Chief Justice Office, because they work with an organization called MacArthur Foundation, and they did a research on that and found out that ethnic races are make up of 90% of our prison system. And we can see that across the board. Just recently in Wisconsin, when they had an incident, even the governor mentioned that Wisconsin had the highest rate of ethnic race that was incarcerated. So I don't know why some of us feel the need to ignore the truth. And then we turn it around and we make it seem like those who are in prison deserve what they got. They're animals and they don't deserve any break. They're still human beings, whether you want to realize it or not. And the sad part, when you describe an individual as something else, it's sad for you as an individual that your mentality is that small to label somebody in such an inhumane way, and until it hits your front door or it's one of your relatives or a close friend of yours, then we have a different tune that we sing, irregardless to the fact no one across the United States of America should live in any conditions that not one elected official would want to live in. So if somebody took a governor, a mayor, a state representative, a congressman, a senator, um, a state's attorney, the head of the sheriff department, the Cook County board president, whoever it may be, the commissioners, and they throwed you in a cell where somebody had filled up a toilet that was full of the brown stuff, and they left you there, how would you like those conditions? Or how about the food that's being served? And you all are paying a nice chunk of change for this food to come through the building, and it's not fit for a dog to eat, and you're okay with that. But now I don't just blame Tom Dart. I don't just blame Toni Preckwinkle. Everybody who has anything to do with what happens inside our prison system holds an accountability. That goes from the state's attorney, that goes to every judge, that goes to every senator and congressman, even to our Justice Department in the White House. It goes to you too. We've seen the injustices playing across multiple newspapers, multiple social media streams, across the TV. We've seen the injustices, and you know who's the one who's affected? It's the ethnic race. The white folks get the nice little slap on the head and they get to go home with their family. But with ethnic races, you all like to stall the process. And when somebody bring up the issue, you feel this like somebody is threatening you or somebody saying something that's wrong and out of pocket. It's not out of pocket because these conditions did not just happen yesterday. These are conditions that's already been happening. The thing is, COVID-19 has heightened things. It has brought things to the forefront that since we're sitting at home, we can see clearly of what's going on. We've seen it clearly of what's going on. And I continue to say, when the movie came out, When They See Us, it's true. And in that movie, it was not those boys. The police set them up. The judge was in on it. The legal teams was in on it. You stole 5 boys' life on a lie. And then we as human beings sit back and we judge a situation we have no knowledge of. When a black man or ethnic man or Hispanic or any other ethnic race besides white go before a judge, they are already labeled. They are already made to be a threat to society. And white folks are more dangerous than black people are or other ethnic races. See, they kill their parents in their sleep. They do that. So you label us, and this ain't just started. This has been a long 400 plus years. And I think you use those tools to try to keep us in line. I go back to slave days. To break up the family, you used to grab the man first. So if you cut off the head of the household, then you figure the household would fall apart. No different from then to now. You're just doing it in a legal way. You're dressing it up. But it's the same thing that you done back then. You're destroying households. You're putting families in financial strains to try to fight for their loved ones. And you all don't care whatsoever. Toni Preckwinkle, she gets on and she talks about COVID and everything. But do you care? No, you don't. Why are you in office if you're not going to do what's right and you're not going to be transparent about it? Take some ownership. Be accountable for what you don't do. And then Tom Dart set his little self up there and had this great conversation talking about Cook County Jail is not that bad, and I've been taking care of the inmates, and I've been doing a great job, patting himself on the back and giving him all them kudos. And then Matthew Kinley, the judge, has to come along and let him know or put an order to make him do some things that he should have been done a long time ago. But you did not. See, election time is coming. I keep saying this over and over again. And you all want to sit on things until after November is over with. You want to stall the process. And you haven't seen no facts. You're holding people without being proven innocent or guilty. What is the purpose? The purpose is because there's a dollar sign on every inmate's head, and you all like that money. You like the money. So I'm going to say this again. COVID-19 has its purpose and its place. And for some of you all that's been crooked all your life and then sent a lot of people to prison for a long time that you knew that should not have gone. But you was okay with that. I don't understand how you sleep at night knowing that you misuse the seat in which you sit in. It ain't justice for all. It's justice for some. They're still fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor. And she was at home sleeping in her bed and a frontline worker. But because the difference is the color of the skin. She's a black girl. So her life don't matter. The police officers get to work, or you send them at desk duty, or you send them home and they get their retirement funds. But a life has been taken that will never be given back again. You have broken a link to a family, and you all don't care. You do not care. And then when people speak up, you want to make phone calls, you want to start threatening people and all this stuff. But if you was doing what was right, we wouldn't have to be at these crossroads. We wouldn't. And if you would sit down and really look at it, if you pull the outside color of the skin down, everything else is the same color as you. But for people who don't like us, you show back, get tanning beds. You like to get the lotion and make you a dark, glistening, bronzy color. And then you like to lay in the sun. If I don't like something, I'm not going to be a part of trying to get nowhere near it. We even have people that likes to imitate us. Why is that? So if you all are not going to do what you need to do, then we as constituents need to make sure that you are evicted from your seats. We can no longer just sit back and allow the crookedness of this system to continue to play out. It's ridiculous. We deserve fair treatment like anybody else. We do. No human being should be fed dog food. No human being in the midst of a pandemic should be piled on top of each other without gloves or masks. You have no regard for the inmates, and you have no regards for your workers, your officers, Tom Dart. But for every elected official who negate their responsibility to keep everybody safe, you make sure your family is safe. If your loved ones get in trouble, if they steal, break in somebody's house, rob somebody, rape somebody, you're going to make sure they're covered. You're going to make sure that you call in all your favors, from the judges to the state's attorney to the public defender or whoever it may be, to hush the situation and to push their stuff right along through the system. So what's the problem with pushing everybody else stuff right along through the system? You all set this system to break the families. You set this system up for children to hate their parents. You set it up. You limit the time for visitation, and you wonder why those inmates are frustrated and they're always in piss mode, because you set that up. Then I was told by the Chief Justice Office, one of the young ladies downtown, that Cook County was responsible for the medical care, and that's a lie. So when you hear inmates and you see the stories where inmates are laying there with COVID-19 and no health care, when you hear the stories about inmates who have cancer and they're not being treated adequately, they're not being fed properly, how do you all sleep with yourself? For every commissioner, every senator, every congressman, every mayor, every governor, every state's representative, every state's attorney, and every person that represents a Tom Dart in the sheriff's department, a Cook County board president, whatever board president you is across this land and country. It is ridiculous that you allow this inhumane treatment to go on and you all are okay with it. You have no heart. You have no care and no concern. All you worried about is getting back in your freaking seats to do nothing. You're not representing the people. You're representing yourselves. And God ain't pleased. Just know you may fool some of the people, but you can't fool him at all. He know the reason why you do what you do, when you do it, how you do it, and when you don't do what you should have done. And there is a payday coming. And let me tell you this, payday comes quicker now. It used to take a while, but it don't take that long. So I'm saying to every individual who has an incarcerated individual. So let me clear up something, make a disclaimer. I'm not saying that all those who are locked up are innocent, because there are some who live a life of crime. But then there is underlying issues that push them to that point too. Our system don't help nobody. It just don't. It puts people in hardship and then it wants them to figure it out for themselves. And that's not how it works. You're hurting instead of helping. And that's the sad part. So just know these conversations will continue. Just know letters are on their way. Just know emails are coming. Just know tweets will continue to show up until we see a change. And justice become not blind, and the scales of justice are balanced. But right now they're broken. They ain't even able to sit on the scale. They're so broken. Okay? All right. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video. For those who've experienced what I'm talking about, we need to stick together. Some things has to change, and they need to change now. Until we talk again.